guys, today we got Travis Scott's new collab, absolutely breaking the internet. Fashion trends cooked Nike and Adidas's marketing, and resellers have hit an all-new low. Welcome to Sneaky Sunday, which unfortunately is another Sneaky Monday. I apologize, had some more technical issues, but it's solved now, so we won't miss another Sunday. Got a lot of cool stuff to go through today, so let's kick it off with, I guess, the biggest release that happened over the weekend, which of course was the Jordan 5 Black Carolina. Still a few sizes left on the sneakers app, which I'm kind of surprised about, but to be honest, it's a super clean colorway. A black metallic alternative or an Awake New York alternative. Let me know if you picked up these. Some upcoming drops happening right around the corner. First one is another Airmax 1000.2. This is the black and pink spell, just all over black, 3D printed by Zellerfeld with a little pink, air unit, which is kind of fire. It looks like Nike and Zellerfeld are really trying to get as many people as possible to try this pair of shoes. It was stupid limited, but they're slowly rolling out more and more colors, which is a great thing. I love them. I really want some more drops of the 95,000s. Those are my favorites. But these are decent as well. They're going to be dropping on the 25th of June, so just a few days away, and there should also be a raffle on Zellerfeld's website as well if you want to enter that. So this is one to keep your eye on, the return of the Skylon 11 from Nike. Now, I just picked up the neon colorway because they had it released early here in the UK, but there's a bunch of different colorways all going to be dropping on the 30th of June. So I believe this white and black one, which, that one is super clean, but also a triple black and a red and silver. This is a really comfortable, lightweight shoe. Basically the entire upper is just this soft mesh. So there's no harder synthetic materials stabbing into the top of your foot or anything. It just feels almost like that Roshi Run experience. Anybody looking for a pair of Vans Souvenir, we got this one dropping very, very soon, specifically June the 25th. However, it has released early through Undefeated. I think that raffle ended, but yeah, the global release where you can get it at, Vans and a bunch of other retailers, June the 25th. This is a kind of cool one that's going to be dropping in July. This is the Merc Premium. This is a collab, I believe how you pronounce this is called Desire Doue. That's probably butchered to hell, but either way, it's basically like a premium football version of the Pegasus Premium. So they added leather to the upper, obviously the little football strap, but you do have that Pegasus cushioning underneath, which as we know is insanely comfortable. I think they look kind of sick, and I actually, now that I'm seeing this, hope that Nike does a few different upper types for the Pegasus Premium midsole. That transferred to some other lifestyle variations could hit hard. Either way, no specific release date in July, just at some point, and they're going to be extremely limited. We finally got all the information needed for this pair of Jordan 1s. They're now calling it the Love Letter. It's basically like a mocha inspired colorway, but the story behind it, granted, Jordan Brand, you did a pretty good job. So it's got the text much love and respect because it's inspired by Michael Jordan's love letter to basketball. So this is a letter that was written by Michael Jordan when he retired, and he, goes into detail about how much he loves basketball and thanks basketball for everything that it gave him. It's a long letter. I'm not going to read it, obviously, but it's pretty cool that this letter inspires this pair of shoes. I don't know necessarily all the colors involved in this, why they went with that. Maybe because the paper's kind of brown and you've got this red signature, which is kind of on the accent colors, the outsole and then also on the tongue. But it's a cool idea, Michael Jordan's farewell to basketball encapsulated in a pair of shoes. I wonder if they'll do some kind of include this letter inside the box. I think that could be dope. Either way, to me, this is just another mocha pair. If I get these things on a heavy discount, I would consider it. But for $185 dropping July the 3rd, would you buy these? July 15th, we're actually getting a wider global release of the triple white or kind of cream colorway of the Adidas Jellyfish. This is good news. Now, they had an early drop in Chicago. It's something we covered a while ago. It's a common theme with these Jellyfish sneakers where they release them in different cities. We had the LA ones, we had the Vegas ones. That was pretty cool. But this triple white one, that was Chicago. The global release through the Adidas confirmed. Maybe a couple other retailers will hold raffles on July the 15th. Let me know if you're after these. But speaking about releases right around the corner, Represent just opened their vault, meaning it is currently right now the perfect time to stock up on essentials. This isn't gonna last long, and currently you can get up to 80% off of some banger pieces from Represent. Now, of course, you can't go wrong with some of the classics like the Owners Club. They've got hoodies, t-shirts, crew necks, all of the different colorways. Some of them are up to 60% off for an Owners Club hoodie. That is an amazing deal. But if you really want to get some gems, here's what I personally recommend for summer. Graphic tees. There is so many incredible options available. The Iron Maiden collab is so clean, and some of them are 55% off. These graphics are amazing. The t-shirts are incredible quality. quality, they feel so good and perfect for the summertime. I picked up this reversible Legacy Tour t-shirt because it's literally got like dope graphics on either side, so you could just flip it inside out and it looks so clean. They've got so many different options when it comes to pants, but I personally have to recommend the slack pants. Those things are amazing and perfect for summer. They're lightweight, airy, you can dress them up, dress them down, making it such a versatile option. Also, do not sleep on the footwear. So many super clean pairs of sneakers, but my personal favorite has to be the mules. I picked up the Nubuck mules, which are great quality and have a cushioned footbed, so they're super comfy, and obviously because it's a mule, I just think they're so versatile for summer. You could dress them up, dress them down. But honestly, there's so many incredible pieces in the vault. Highly recommend checking it out. I'm gonna leave all of the links and sizing information down in the description for you. Thank you to Represent for sponsoring this segment of the video, but let's get back to it. This is one of the craziest and kind of funny things that is happening right now. So as you know, the World Cup is on, and if you've been watching any of the games, you've probably wondered to yourself, why is everyone wearing pink football boots? It's weird, right? Every single brand, Nike, Adidas, New Balance, even Skechers, they all have pink shoes. And you might assume it's just by design, but actually it's a disastrous mistake. All of these brands, Nike, Adidas, they spend years preparing their football boots for the World Cup. In fact, they're often made 2 years before the competition. Pink is a great color for football boots because it contrasts so nicely with the green football pitch, so they're very noticeable. So in terms of marketing, it's a great move to have a pink football shoe. But when every other brand also has that exact same idea, it then just mixes all of these different brands of shoes to look like the exact same one. Now, specifically why everyone went with pink is because pink is a huge fashion trend right now. This GQ article puts it very well. When you look outside of football, there is so many different major sneaker brands putting out pink shoes. We just had the Travis Scott pink pack. The Jellyfish from Pharrell Williams and Adidas, they just launched a pink colorway. The Skims Nike Rift apparently came in pink. A Jacquemus Nike Moon shoe, also Willie Chavaria, like they're all doing pink shoes. Awake New York, the Jordan 5s, they're gonna be dropping a pair of 6s as well, all pink. So all of these brands using pink to market their shoes was all based on WGSN, which is one of the world's biggest trend predictors or forecasting agencies in fashion. And now all of their boots look identical. So nobody knows if some player is wearing a Nike, Adidas, Skechers, it's just all pink. And yeah, all of these brands just followed that prediction. So now everybody's wearing pink shoes. Moving on, let's talk about some Jordans that are a little bit further down the line this year that we just got some confirmations on. First one, the Air Jordan 13 Flint is expected to return in August 1st. I actually couldn't remember that these things were dropping. I completely forgot. That's kind of right around the corner in August, just the 1st. But yeah, here's some official images. So we know everything there is to know about this pair of shoes. We're not going to spend too much time, but just wanted to give you that release date because we previously didn't have it. Here's our best looks at some in-hand shots of the Awake New York Jordan 6 collaboration. Like we said, we got some more pink shoes. So this is the blue colorway with the pink stitching. You've still got the Awake New York logo on the, rubberized mesh, just like the 5s. Still not entirely sure about this one. I don't know how people are feeling. I haven't really seen anybody talk about them, so I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think about this? Is this better than the 5s, or is it not as good? Either way, both of these colorways are going to launch just like the 5 did, September this year. No exact date in September, but yeah, that's what we're getting. Nike just announced Caitlin Clark's signature sneaker called the Caitlin 1, and we already have a release date, which is, well, it's October the 1st, so a little bit of time to wait on these. But they're fully unveiled. This is what they look like. I think they're going to retail for $140, and they've got this Caitlin Clark logo all over it. I think she's a huge fan of Kobe, so it's a little bit Kobe inspired with like the texture to it. This is going to be the launch colorway, this like blue one with a metallic swoosh on it. And I'm not gonna lie, like this is a nice looking pair of shoes, don't get me wrong, but why do a lot of these signature basketball shoes kind of look the same at this point? Like we just got the KD19s, they kind of look similar. It's just like a little bit of a different flip on a very, very similar looking shoe. Am I tripping with that? I don't know. Either way, Travis Scott has a triple black pair. I do like the ripples that it's a nice pair of shoes, but I don't know why it just looks like the same as every other performance Nike shoe recently. Let me know what you think down in the comment section if you like these things or not. Sticking with basketball, this one's a little bit of a controversial move. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is now part of Nike basketball, which he kind of was to begin with. Like he was with Converse, but Nike owns Converse, so they're moving some chess pieces around. Now, why this I think is so controversial is because like I feel like we only just got those Shai 001s with Converse. They were a smash hit. People people are loving them, but I just feel like it's a little bit soon. Now, what is that? That sneaker's done? I mean, it could be cool that we get like a Nike version of that. I would like to see what they do because he's very like style forward, so I think they could do something pretty cool in that realm. I do also love what Nike has done with Ja's line, so if it's anything like that, it could be cool, but I just feel like maybe there was a little bit more from Shai and Converse. What would a 2 look like? A second version, you know? I feel like people were still looking for more colorways. Either way, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. Let me know what you think down in the comment section, but yeah, Shai's now a Nike guy. This one is super clean. This is the first looks at the Jordan 1 Last Dance at the Garden, and these things look beautiful. I originally thought when I saw them that they were going to be a friends and family exclusive, but it looks like they're actually going to have a release. This really does look like one of those limited to 300 or something types of Jordans that they make. So it celebrates Michael Jordan's final game at Madison Square Garden as a Chicago Bull. Like, you know, you see what I'm saying when they come to Michael Jordan inspiration for Jordans, like they dig deep. But here you go. It's got like this floral pattern all over it, and the vibrant red with the black just looks amazing. The outline of the Nike swoosh in gold just makes it look luxurious. Obviously, it's based off of the Chicago colors, so you're still getting that DNA in here. They just look like they're elevated to 11. I think these things are really dope, and we already have a release date, which is going to be September the 26th. I think these are a cop. Let me know what you think. Some more hope that the Nike SD Charge will have a wider release. We're getting some more official images of some other colorways. Look at this triple black one. This is a pair of shoes that I've spoke about, you know, a lot because it's so freaking good. But currently it is exclusive to Asia, which is, I think, unfortunate. Either way, I think a lot of people are putting pressure on Nike to release these globally because it is such not just a cool looking pair of basketball shoes, but they're really good. If you want to check out more details, I did do a review. I'll link it down in the description. We also got this colorway, which is a little bit crazier, but yeah, there's plenty of these out there, and I think they retail for something like $120, so I'm excited. I hope Nike drop these things ASAP. But let's talk about some Travis Scott news, because this gets pretty interesting. So a lot of people with all of these Jordan 1 low releases have been talking about what are they doing. Last week we spoke about a new Travis Scott Fragment sample that popped up, and now we have 2 more, so there's a total of 3 potential Fragment collabs that may release. We got this one, which takes a little bit more of a traditional color blocking. I think that's pretty dope. This one they can keep. Not a fan of this one, and this one is okay, but I think this is the one we're likely going to get, or I think the one that was worn. Is it? I don't know, maybe there's another one. I don't know. Either way, this is my favorite, but it just shows that there are more Fragment Travis Scott releases in the pipeline. And with all of this news of more Jordan 1 lows coming, some people are saying that they've absolutely rinsed this, but you also have some other theories which I think are pretty interesting. So we've got this account, Mr. Unloved Ones, who posts a lot about Jordans, and he basically says that the Travis Scott Jordan 1 is kind of its own thing. It's like its own signature line. So instead of looking at the Travis Scott collaboration as just, you know, Travis's spin on a regular pair of Jordan 1 lows and it's going to be a one-off thing, they've actually created it into an entire line where they're going to drop annually kind of thing. And clearly that seems to be the plan. So as of right now, I don't think we have too many like confirmed Jordan 1 Travis Scott releases. It's just the Fragment pair that should be dropping at some point. But I think when you kind of look at this collaboration as more of its own thing and not just, you know, a one-off collab, it makes a little bit more sense, but you know, it's not going to stop people from thinking that Travis Scott and Nike have absolutely ran through this whole collab. So what could potentially, you know, mix things up a little bit is a new Jordan 5, which, take a look at over here. This is a triple collaboration: Travis Scott, Jordan Brand, and Oakley. Now, before you start running away with, oh my lord, I need these things ASAP, these are a sample, something that I think is just friends and family for right now. But even the fact that Jordan Brand, Travis Scott, and Oakley let this guy cook these things up shows that, you know, there potentially could be something like this right around the corner. Now, people are going crazy about these. They absolutely love the idea of an Oakley, Jordan, and Travis Scott collab. And these things, I ain't gonna lie, they look pretty damn good. There's something about that Oakley logo as well that looks super clean on the back. We got some more shots of these things over here. You've got like a little patch on the back, which is interesting. I imagine if these things officially released, they'd have a little bit more Oakley involved. I don't know, maybe. But the whole Travis Scott Oakley collaboration is kind of its own thing. It makes sense that they bring it into Jordan. I think this would be so sick. Do something a little bit different. I think people are really interested in some, you know, left field stuff and not just the same thing over and over again. Now, Hidden NY does point out something that's pretty interesting. He says that this is an unusual collaboration as Nike and Oakley have had a long-standing rivalry. I didn't know that, but in the late 90s, Oakley accused Nike of copying its eyewear technology after Nike entered the performance sunglass market. So they had a little bit of a back and forth, but I mean, come on, late 90s was ages ago. Jordan, just get them in. Do this collab. It looks sick. Either way, if we get any more updates on this, I'll let you know down in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Would you cop or would you just stick with the Jordan 1s? Right, let's talk about these resellers. They are down bad astronomically. So this is an Instagram resell account called Reselling Secrets, and they're again talking about Jordan sitting on shelves. This is something that's kind of like a weekly thing from these resale pages at this point. Now, they go over the same thing where it's basically, you know, Jordans are sitting, it's not 2020 anymore, you know, things have changed, and they're kind of, you know, talking about, obviously this page is followed by a lot of resellers, so they talk about, hey, instead of exclusively Jordans, things that need to be resold are Pokemon and currently Nido, which I have no idea what that is, but the resale world, they are rampant. They seem to find stuff to resell like instantly. So they've moved away from Jordans, and obviously they're now sat on shelves, but they swapped it to Pokemon, and that is a huge thing still to this day. But the latest one, well, this is pretty insane. Trader Joe bags. That is what resellers have moved to. So people are really going to war over these $2.99 Trader Joe tote bags that are already reselling for just $10 to $15. So these are actual photos of massive lines outside of Trader Joe stores for these little tote bags. Look at this video, bruh. It looks like, I mean, it looks like a huge sneaker release or something like that, like some huge drop, but this is for freaking tote bags at Trader Joe's? What is the profit margin on this? Like 10 bucks max? And there's so many different articles. This one's talking about these mini Trader Joe bags as well, and talking about there's an eBay listing for 100,000. I think that is fake. That's not real. No way. But still, it's just crazy to see people go nuts for these random things. Stanley Cups, Labubus, and now they're onto Trader Joe bags. How low can they go? This is insane, but I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section. Maybe you're someone who loves these Trader Joe tote bags, and if you do, let me know why. What's so good about them? Final story. This one's pretty interesting. So over the years, Complex does their sneaker of the year thing, and every single year people get so frustrated and angry at them because they don't like their final top 10. So what they've done, I think, is pretty interesting. They've created something where people can vote. So you can look at all of the top 10 shoes on here and you can vote for your favorite one. And what I thought was interesting is this top 10 that we have of all of the Jordans that have released so far this year. So it's not top 10 sneakers, but just the Jordans. And this is voted by people. So they've currently got 1,600 votes, and here you go. We got a Nigel's at number 1 currently. The Virgil Abloh Alaskas, that's what is coming in at 2nd place. Then we got the Fragment Unions. I'm happy with that so far. Shy Pink Travis's, come on, bruh. I don't think so. The Bin 23s, I haven't checked them out yet, but I do think they look pretty good. The Levi's All-Star one, shocker because it was the most limited. I think the other ones were better. The Dornbecker 17s, that's on the list as well. So this is a pretty cool ranking, and it's voted by people. It'll be interesting to see if they implement this at the, for the actual top 10 sneakers of the year. Do you think that they should do that, or just stick to, giving their opinion on their top 10s? But either way, that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. I'm still calling it that, even though it is Monday. Subscribe to the channel, that way you can always stay in the loop of the latest news. And if you want to catch another video, click on this one in the top left-hand corner. It's a banger.